Hello and welcome to episode 3 of our Timberborn Update 7 Emberpelts playthrough here. Cycle 4, day 6. Last time we had a pretty productive episode getting some more production built in, putting in our first tree farm, and getting some diversions set up. But there's still some work that needs to be done. There's a few things we need to discuss right off the bat. First of all, we're talking about the automation on the floodgates. Apparently, these don't transfer. This is the this is the only one that did this very far right one. So I am very grateful that you guys pointed that out in the comments, or else I would have missed it. And that explains the little bit of a catastrophe we had last episode in another spot. But now all three of these are set, safe, ready to go. We'll come back over here because what happened was this one got absolutely nothing set up. This one was all good to go, and then because this one was lowered, then obviously there were some problems. But now everything is all set. They match, and that's great, because we are going to need it when these bad tides really start kicking off. But I also wanted to discuss why I built this one here and not all the way out here. I wanted to have something in place, just so that in case we had a bad tide come in, we wouldn't be completely screwed. But now this is in place, we can send some beavers in here to just build this all the way across here, and well, most of the way across, and make this a little bit better. Now I should also note, because we have these mods, we have all of these different extended levees, we have shaped levees, and I think, if I can find it, yeah, this diagonal levee, this is going to be tremendously helpful for us to get into like a corner like this. And I know that the beavers don't like getting wet because this is the Emberpelts, and I've committed mostly to not doing terraforming as much as I can help it. So I think what's going to happen here is this is going to end up becoming, I guess, kind of a longer term construction project that we're going to have to invest a little bit of time and effort in. But if we come in right here with this diagonal levee, then that should direct the water nicely. That these are watertight, I should stress. These are actual levees. The decoration blocks have absolutely no effect on water. They're just building blocks. It'll pass right through it like it does any other buildings that are not watertight, because this is not the Water Beavers mod. That was yesterday's video. So let's come back here to our shaped levees. And diagonal levees are really going to help us out here. It's 125 science, which early game, that's a lot of science to dedicate to something like this, but I think it's going to be worth it. We also don't have any wood to build with yet, but they also can't get here, so there's no harm in us doing this. So I will take this diagonal, and I guess putting it right here is going to make the most sense, because it's going to just go straight across to this. So we put in 2 like that, and then we can just do our regular levees, just like so. Now we're going to take a look at the different heights of this. I actually should have checked before I unlocked this. We have the diagonal levee, and then I don't think there's a diagonal levee double height. No, because those are inverted slopes. That's an internal corner. I don't think we need to be... maybe we do. That's 19 logs, and this is 8. This is actually still a better deal to do it that way. But these 1x2 levees, 160 science, 19 planks. We don't have that many planks. We actually don't have any. But that would cost us effectively 21 logs worth, because they get turned into planks. 2x1, same story. Now the 2x2 here, 34 planks and 4 logs. 19 times 2, if you're good at math, you will know is more than 34. So there is a benefit to using these larger pieces, and I do think we should at some point dedicate ourselves to putting some of this stuff in. We have the 2x3 as well. And this is 6 logs and 56 planks. So if you, of course, divide 56 by 6, you get 9. And if you do, I think you get 9. Roast me, I guess. It's fine. I'm not good at math. So that's basically 9 planks per block. and it's cheaper, theoretically, to build just regular levees. But this is going to look, I think, a whole lot nicer. We can also, if we wanted to go super tall, do something like that. But right now, we don't have any planks, so it's kind of pointless to, speculate about it. And this also would be a great place for us to put double high floodgates to try and get as much water in here as we possibly can. So I think, yeah, because it's going to come in through here, it's going to want to go this way. Let's keep these shaped levee things outside of the corner one, because that's really useful. Let's keep that on the back burner. Let's instead use the regular double floodgates. The flat top floodgates, of course, require metal, which we do not have, but regular double floodgates. Right here, I'll do 3 of those. Remember, it's going to take them quite a while to build this, so we can, get a little bit creative with things. I don't think we need to go 4 wide. The 3 wide should be plenty. And then all we have to do here is, first of all, hit the correct button. We can do a 2 by 1. I always get these confused. Because I said this like, I don't know, 15 series ago, the update for when I always look at this and I see the first number, I say, okay, that's how wide it is, and the second number is how tall it is. But no, that's not how this one works. The first number is the height for some reason, but whatever. I didn't make the mod. We can do a 2 by 1 here, which is going to be 19 planks and 2 logs, or if we really felt like it, we could put the double floodgate in, which would be cheaper in terms of planks, but still cost a whole lot more because it takes 20 logs. I'll take this tall one here, but I don't want to unlock quite yet because we only have 379 science. We can, however, fill in the rest of this, just like so. And there's no real reason to put a levee here. Somebody made a comment, said I was missing a piece of a levee here. No, I'm not. You don't need this in this corner because it can't go through that gap. So that's fine. But this will be just so much better and easier to clean out after a bad tide. It'll just flow right past the gate until it opens. So before we forget, we need to set these. When the drought ends, it's height 0. When the bad tide starts, it's height 2. We do not set when the bad tide ends. That is inviting problems. Then that just goes there. And then this middle one, which I should have clicked first. There we go. Now these are all 3 matching. Perfect, beautiful, flawless, no notes. We'll want to make sure that when it is actually time for this to be in normal mode, we'll set this to about, well, it has to be low enough. I guess I could just go down to, say 0.5 for right now. Shouldn't really matter that much. It'll automatically go all the way up, and that's what really matters. So we can leave that alone. This is also, like we talked about, been taken care of. This here was already fine, but remember, the automation bit, I only did the one in the middle, so gotta come in here and take care of that. Just so we are all on the same page here. And there we go. So, now all we have to do is wait for trees to grow. And it might be a little while. We still have some water. We're doing fine in that regard. But we don't have a whole lot of storage, and we unfortunately are missing a single plank to have this medium tank completed. So what we're going to need to do is come over here and take these apart. That's going to grab us some planks and some logs here. It's automatically prioritized thanks to the TImprove mod. I did tick that box. But this now is going to need to be the utmost priority, getting this medium tank built so that we can pump more water. Because while having 100 water is great for this early in the game, we really should be having a lot more than that. And it's not going to matter as much once we get into the juices. But for right now, we really need to have that. So that's taken care of. These guys also could use some planks and some logs for this press so we can start making canola oil. And there's still just a tiny bit available here for them to be able to accomplish that. That is a dead blueberry bush. I should go ahead and prioritize this. I'm going to pause this lumber mill. I'm going to pause this power wheel. Just because we don't have anything else we can really do. That's already set good. I guess they're probably... No, they're not doing that because this is prioritized. Is there anything else I can really really take advantage of here? I don't think so. I think it's just one of those situations where we have to wait for some logs. Maybe not the most popular thing. Some people say, "Oh, you just need to plant birch trees or pine trees." Like, yeah, I don't want to plant inferior trees. We don't need to do that. This time is not of the essence here. If it ends up taking forever, I'll just end up time-lapsing something. I generally try not to cut things out because I want to show you the whole process of everything that we've done here. But now all we need is one more plank and 4 more logs. Unfortunately, there's not really anything else I can demolish and have them get rid of. I guess, I mean, I could get rid of these stairs. And that would give me the plank, but it would not get me all of the logs. That being said, if I do this, I will have... Oh, I thought it was the other way around. Excuse me. Well, I'll have my planks, my 1 plank that I need, and I'll have a single log. And that's that. If I demolish this one, I'd only get 1 more log, so it really doesn't matter. But I have this here. 67%. That would only give me 1 more log even. Oh, there was 1 tree here that I guess I could have cut down, but you know how it goes. Considering that it's going to be another couple days, I'm going to have them cut down just a couple more apple trees just so we can get this going. Because it's really going to be beneficial for us to have this. And there's no sense in waiting just for the sake of waiting. There. Now we have a press, squelching noises, and a power wheel to run it. And we can start making canola oil. And canola oil, of course, is going to go into us making grilled bell peppers, which... Okay, we need another 18 logs to be able to start using this grill. And we don't actually have any peppers yet, because we haven't picked them. But we do have some that are grown, ready to go. In terms of apples, I mean, they take a long time to grow up, and I don't want to cut any more down. That was just like an emergency situation type of deal. So I guess we will have to wait there. What is the next? 93. Okay, so that's going to be a couple days. Well, that's fine. There's nowhere else, because I already cut this down. I wasn't really going to be able to get to these trees anyway if I had this set here. So I guess that's okay. We have our beavers doing research in the meantime, which is good. We definitely do need to have that research. It's fine. We're making canola oil. I need to have some storage for canola oil, so let's turn one of these tanks that is empty into some canola storage, which is canola oil right there. We now have plenty of space for water, so everything is looking just fine. And once we let these guys catch up a little bit with the woods from the trees, we should be in really good shape. So last time we talked about a plan of attack to get to the ruins here. I didn't really go into it too much, but we are going to be in a situation pretty soon where it's going to be possible. We just have to get up here, then we have to get across this gap, and then we have to get up here, down here, so on and so forth. It's far enough away that we could possibly justify a second district, but if you've seen any of my other Timberborn videos, you know that I really do not like having separate districts for anything. But on a map this size, it's going to be unavoidable. Which is why we have the trains, because trains are good to get stuff between different districts. The way the mechanics are set up, you can't really use them for anything inside of a district. It just is the way it is. But we can have goods shipped between different areas, and there's a bunch of different types of tracks to build, so on and so forth. So while we can't really build anything currently, we can kind of start mapping things out. And this is where I wanted to talk a little bit about how our paths are set up. I also have a couple more mod additions to discuss with you, but I really liked the idea presented in the comments that these regular paths are just the kind of temporary, we have to get somewhere and it doesn't matter how we get there kind of paths. But as things get a little bit fancier, we can do wooden paths. We also have these decorative floors that we can place underneath things. But anytime we get close to a cliff or in a dangerous area or underwater or something, I think we should put some railings in. I did like that idea. I think that's a fun thing to work with. So I'm going to try in new construction to stick with that as much as I can. And a couple other things too. But I've also added, we have, where is, I think it's No, that's not the right one. Where is... I had one of these that... I think it was the path extension mod. We do have tunnels through levees we can build through one of those mods. Big metal pillars for different things. Like, there's all sorts of cool stuff we can get to. But I thought I had these... they're these big metal bridges that you could put train tracks on, or paths, or power shafts, or whatever. And I thought that's the mod I had installed. But apparently that is not the case. I will get it. I'll figure it out. But I guess that's a little bit of egg on my face for this video here. The sky bridges are going to also be something that we can start using as we get these larger housing developments and everything. But that will, of course, just take some time. Got our storage for bell peppers here, which is good because we are plucking those out of the ground eventually, and they'll have somewhere to go. This just needs... Oh, I guess we got our stuff we can turn our clay pit on. While I was sitting there talking about things, the beavers were actually doing the work. So let's get our clay going. We'll get this grill, and then we already have canola oil. We probably should have some canola oil up here too, but for right now, things are fine. Remember, this is all going to get redone to look a little bit better once we are, I guess, established. This is still episode 3. Don't forget. We have a drought approaching, though, so let's make some preparations here to get the beavers in to construct all of this stuff. Remember, this isn't connected here yet. And we're going underwater, so let's use our path with railings. So, the beavers are, they're good swimmers, but sometimes it's helpful to have railings to grab onto. If you've ever done anything underwater, it's nice to be able to hold on to something because there could be currents or something like that. So we can invent some sort of reason in universe that the beavers might want to do that. We'll put a staircase there. And then since we have all this science now, let's come over to our square levees. And I always want to click this one. We'll just do this, 190 science. And there you go. That's everything they will need to build here once we get this hooked up. And I think I've got enough logs coming in. I can turn this on. Remember, the 5 vacancies isn't really 5 vacancies because we have all of these inventors that are at minimum workplace priority. So we really only have 1 vacancy running all of this like this because I just pulled them out of their thinking huts to come and make some planks. As a reminder, I do have the daylight only mod turned on. It is going to change some of the colors, but it makes it a little bit easier for people to view on screens that are not high definition dynamic range or whatever. Some people did specifically request that in the last video. So, drought has started. I'm going to hit pause because I need to make sure these things are set up correctly. Okay, that's good. And that is set very nicely. This is good here. So, 7-day drought with the pumping happening. This is probably going to dry up. We have 352 water, which, grand scheme of things isn't that much, but when you only have 23 beavers, it's probably fine. I'm going to, for now, just set both of these to pause when a bad tide or a drought starts and unpause when temperate starts. They won't do anything now because it's already started, so we'll just manually pause those. We get a couple of our beavers back. And in just a moment, this is going to be dry enough for our beavers to walk out here and start building. I could just send them anyway. It's still only a minor debuff, but if we're attempting to do things in a aesthetically pleasing, smart way, we won't send the beavers into here before they want to. Just let them do what they've got to do. We've got plenty of trees here to get cut down. I do have 2 of these guys, but this is deprioritized. I'm going to take this off of minimum, and I'm going to put it there. I'm also going to move this one down to the slightly lower priority. They got to take care of that. Should be pretty good here. This will go down just a touch. But this bit will always be wet, so these guys will, unfortunately, get just a little bit moist working on all of these things. So I'm going to go ahead and get this connected just in time. Look at that. Yeah, and they're all going to complain about getting wet. That's life. That's the way it goes. They'll get that debuff taken off after a little bit, but we do need to take the time to make sure that we get this accomplished. I don't think there's enough bad water in here to actually get anybody contaminated. If they do, it's going to be really bad for them because we are super far away from having decontamination pods. I think it should be okay. As long as with... Yeah, over here is definitely bad news. But this area here should be okay. We are going to need to make all of these 30 planks. And we only have 14, so right now that should be fine. This ran out of water really fast. You know what? I feel like I need to take a pause here and figure out exactly what happened. Because this is an actual levee, so there's no chance of water escaping here. Oh. That's what happened. I've never looked at it that low. Okay, you can see what I'm talking about here, right? Like, I'm not completely insane. There's a gap here that I didn't plan for. That's quite irritating. Alright, well, I guess this needs to be the top priority to build this now. Jeez. They can't even reach this. They can't even reach that. Alright, so everyone who commented something about that and said, hey, you forgot something, and I said, no, I didn't. Well, you were right. But I'd never actually gotten down at this low angle to check that out. So, right, I get to look like a stupid idiot for the second time in as many videos. Well, we have 700 food. These crops are all going to die, which is regrettable. Oh, even the corn, too. But I have 118 grilled corn. I guess it's fine. I've got 40. Yeah, okay, whatever. It is what it is. No sense getting super mad about it, but it is going to irritate the ever-loving insert your favorite word here out of me. So, I guess they'll get that taken care of. I can take these railing paths out of here, and I can put that last piece of levee in place. Boy, is that annoying. So, not really much else we can do here, except just to let these guys build. So that is what I will do. I will time-lapse this just a little bit so I can save you guys a little bit of boredom here over the next couple minutes of me sitting here watching it. And then we'll talk about what is next. Okay, so they have this completed now, and it looks really nice. I am glad we decided to go this way. So this is really stupid. I forgot that was just... And anyway, whatever. You don't care. So all the crops are dead, with the exception of about a third of the canola and 6 tomato plants. And we're running very low on water, and it really is not going to matter anymore if this has anything in it. So I'll just turn these pumps back on. Still plenty of food. We're totally fine. We did manage to make a decent quantity of grilled bell peppers. Fortunately, the apple trees are going to be fine. Maples are going to be fine. And the oaks are going to be fine. This just didn't get replanted because it was not, irrigated when the trees were cut down. But it will be replanted just as soon as that water comes back. And I feel like we're in a really, really good spot relative to all this other nonsense we've been going through. So let's put this back on at triple speed and make absolutely sure there's no other possible way for water to escape. Because that was really, really dumb. This is also probably not something that has to stay here. But I suppose we could just leave this here, and this will be a non-pumpable reservoir during a drought. I guess that's fine. There's a little tiny bit of bad water in here, but grand scheme of things, long term, it should be fine. Well, this is interesting. So I guess the game doesn't really allow for any differently shaped levees, but it sure looks nice. You look at it from this angle, you can't really tell. Keep that into account. So I think since we have 1,000 science, we can start making our way over here. We can start researching some of the other bridges and things like that. So I'm going to put a staircase here, and we're going to have to get across this way. We actually, depending on how we want to do this, I could just put a staircase here. No, it would have to go here, and it would have to have a very carefully laid out thing. I know this is going to be kind of stupid looking, kind of ugly, sometimes that is just the way life goes. So cycle 5 begins. They're going to bring that in. I am going to go all the way down because it's going to be cheaper to just do it that way. And then I've got... we'll qualify this as path with railing territory. I will stay a little bit away from the cliff side here, but we can make things a little interesting for the beavers. There we go. Bring that over here, and then we have to get up to this side, and this is looks like 5 blocks. And ladders are available, but they take a lot of planks and a lot of logs. But what they do add is the convenience of not having to build platforms. So even though, yes, this is a higher cost, it has a 300 science point thing. If all I have to do is make 5 of these, it's only 30 planks. It's 30 planks, 20 logs, versus having to make 5 stairs. Already gets us to 20 planks, and then I have to have platforms under all those. No, it makes sense. Just unlock the ladders, and then find the right place to go up. I'm going to choose this corner right here. So those 5 will go right there. Path with railings right across here. Just go straight the way across. And then there's also trees here we can cut down. We'll do stairs. And then we get into this area. And there's going to be plenty of scrap metal, plenty of trees. But first, before we get too far into that, I do want to check and see how this is coming in here. So this is fully open because it is, of course, the end of a drought. We've reached the temperate cycle. And there is a tiny bit of the nasty water here. But it won't be that way forever. It's not enough to really cause any problems. We'll just get some nice clean stuff in here, or clean enough for our purposes. Remember, we are going to end up shutting off some of these bad water sources and all of that stuff and make the map ideally completely clean. Maybe not completely green, because that's a ton of irrigation to do, but we'll do our best to clean it up. Okay, so I think right here I can just get that set up. Let these guys go about their business. It's going to be a very long walk. It's not going to be a very quick process of getting everything taken care of here, but I am going to go ahead and put a lumberjack flag. I guess right here is probably fine. I'll just go for 1. And then scavenger flag. It's only 250 science. So that can easily go right here. They will need some storages to accompany what they're doing. Piles of the industrial variety. We also have the large industrial piles available. But one of these right here, I suppose, probably makes more sense to have scrap metal. Because there's only so much wood. And I also don't really have a lot of other space to put things, but this one can be for wood. Need to make sure that we mark this whole area for tree cutting. You don't have to do that for metal, of course, but just so everything is taken care of here. Get that situated, and they'll eventually take care of this in due time. We do have to do plenty of other processing, and we're about to have to need more beavers. So let's think about where we want to put our next housing unit. And again, none of this is final. This is just the way this is for right now. And I'd like to have... We do have some science, I guess, to start unlocking these other lodges. Just trying to keep in mind what might work. We have the vertical lodge here. Remember, since these all share walls, I don't have to exclusively build things that have immediate access to any sort of pathways. So I could unlock this vertical lodge, which could prove to be a very useful building. Sleeps 3. I feel like this would be a waste to unlock the mini lodge that houses a single beaver. I'm going to pop this in here. 100 science points. We'll let them build that. But they can't build this unless they have direct access with a pathway, or at least some sort of way of getting into it. So in order for them to accomplish that, they're going to have to be able to get in from somewhere else, which is where the other regular lodge that I'm going to stick up here is going to come in. Right like so. The reason I'm doing this way is, again, because they can transit inside the building to anywhere they want to go. They can come out on top of this one here, And then that's going to give us opportunities to start building some other stuff. Like, for example, when we have our well-being, we have a rooftop terrace we can build. That is a 2x3 building that won't quite fit right here. But with a little bit of finagling, I think we can make it happen. We can be a little creative with how we lay things out. And while this vertical lodge is 2 blocks tall, it does give us a chance to put some platforms underneath this area here. And then come in with a vertical lodge, I guess, right here. These will share because they touch on other stuff. That gives them pathway access here once this one gets built from below. And then they can build this. We can also connect these with stairs if we really feel like it. But importantly, what this is going to allow us to do is to have, I guess, I'll just put platforms here. That's going to give us a chance to put a rooftop terrace right here. Now, why would I not put the mini lodge, the house as one beaver here? No real reason, but it also is going to give us a chance to put in some of these other things that might do some well-being boost. Now, it is kind of dumb to put a fire pit underneath a fire pit and, you know, directly within range of combustible materials. But OSHA died with the humans, and the beavers don't care. So, we'll put our little path with railings there. Actually, I think any path on top of this would automatically have them, but this is going to give them a lot of opportunities to get some nice early game recreation taken care of. And we're going to expand our population in the process, which is something we definitely need to do. And look, wow, they've already gotten over here. I did not think it was going to be that fast. So I guess they're going to take... We are flying through the tech tree here, folks. Getting some nice early game progress, and this is going to be probably in short order an opportunity for us to start smelting metal. Now we do have to have bricks to do that, and we have 228 of them. I forgot that I had all these already set up here, so we're going to need to think about power a little bit better. We do have the beard wheel, but if we want to invest a little bit of science, we could get a very early game engine for 200 science that runs on 1/10 of a log and makes 250 HP per hour. The regular engine runs on charcoal in this mod, and then the large one runs on liquid fuel, which we're not even close to having yet. Obviously, we can't build this until we have like scrap metal actually refined, but this one, because it runs on regular logs and only takes clay, planks, and logs, we can easily build. It's 2x2, and it's only 200 science. Before we spend the science, though, we do need to make sure we're going to be able to unlock the smelter, and that is 300 science all by itself. But we're about to get some more adult beavers in here that can fill these empty jobs in the inventor huts, and I think that is going to be fine. So what unlocking this small engine is going to allow us to do is stop having the beavers run on the beard wheel. We'll save a little bit of labor. So we'll go ahead and get that going. And we can find a slightly better location to pop this. Now it's 2x2, but it does have the entrance kind of offset. It has power connections on 3 sides, which is going to be very, very, very useful. We just have to find a good place for it. And I'm not completely opposed to having the stuff up here, but I want to make sure we actually have the ability to adequately connect everything before I get too committed to this. I do think it's probably simplest this early on to just say, you know what, goodbye to the beard wheel, get this set up maybe right about here, maybe not right about there, because we can always move stuff. I always struggle to kind of place this just because of how this is set up, but if I put this here, then I can do... Oh, we said industrial areas are dangerous, so they need railings. Not that it really matters that much, but this right here is going to give me an opportunity to build another medium tank for the water storage, which I think is going to be important. And I don't really have enough planks to do that yet, but once this is up and running, we're going to be in pretty good shape. Logs aren't super close, but they're also not super far away. Hey, well, being a 14 this early is pretty good. 250 HP constantly instead of having beavers run on it is really going to be a good thing. Just need to make sure this can get powered. I don't think I need gears quite yet, but we will need to have gears when we... Actually, no. I thought the smelter took gears. I have to get used to the recipes for this. So now we just wait, because it is the middle of the night. I always keep forgetting. Yeah, we just need this to get finished. Ah! Herein lies the problem, friends. Because I have to have planks to build this. And I can't build planks because I took their power source away. Okay, yeah, you know what? I kind of deserve that. If I remove these stairs, I will get 3 planks back. That will help them build it, and then I can just put them right back. But I'm going to have to do this at night so these beavers go home and go to sleep. And we don't have to worry about the rest of this stuff. Or I could just say, you know what? Go home. I'm going to get rid of that. And then I re-enable those. They will come pick up those planks, but I need to absolutely make sure that this is prioritized or they might use them for something else. Alright, so come on down and pop these things in here for me, if you would, please. I see them carrying things. Yeah, how would you like to be sitting there in your living room and somebody just brings a whole bunch of dimensional lumber through in front of you? That just seems kind of strange, but hey, beavers can do what they want. It's nighttime, so I don't expect we'll see this completed for a little bit yet. But I do see the 3 planks right there, and that is exactly where we want them to be. So rise and shine, beavers. Stick your stuff in the small engine, and now we are able to go. But there's no haulers in the district, and they have to be able to actually supply this. So that is going to be our next challenge, is how to get planks for that. That is something I forgot. I know. I know. You're saying, how in the world could you forget something so fundamental? Well, you see, it's been a very long time since I played this faction. Oh, that's just the way it goes. But I do have wooden stairs here, and I have these stairs here I can easily get back. Let's see. I should place this hauling post first. And we don't really have enough extra beavers yet to really need one of these. But we're gonna be glad we have it. So I'm just gonna pop that in right there. I'm gonna have that be a very, very simple 2 beavers to manage all that. And we have the logs. We just need to have the 10 planks. So that's gonna be 3. That's gonna be 6. That's gonna be 9. And this path here, and this platform are going to give us the rest. Oh, I did it this time, didn't I? I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. I needed them to be able to get to this. That's annoying. Okay, so here is here's where I get to experiment. See if I can con the game into sending this. Nope, that's not going to work. Sometimes, because there's some sort of rule in programming, right-hand rule or something, where it's always going to send stuff that goes out of a square into the closest available square based on some sort of arcane hierarchy of sorts. So if you remove convenient options, then it has to go exactly where you want it to. So now that I've done this, if I press this, it should go to the next available spot. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Let's make this absolutely impossible for it to go anywhere else. There we go. Now it's across. Is that cheese? Maybe. But it got the job done, and that's what matters. Now, I just have to get this to move to where... Oh, come on. Okay, now it's mocking me. Oh, you think you're so cute, huh? Come on. There. Oh, boy. Let's just get that out of there. Come and grab your... That's already prioritized. That's right. Alright. Triple speed. Get this thing built so we can run our power, so we can make everything else, because somebody forgot that you actually had to have a hauler to run this thing and not just whatever beavers wanted to do that day. Then I guess I should... after that's done, I should put this back in place here. Okay, so we have our planks. That's good. They can't take that away. In we go. And in just a brief moment, when this is complete, well, after they wake up from their naps, what we would call sleep at least, they'll come in and start the engine, and the drought's approaching here in 3 days. Very good. Very good. This just has to have something in it, and it can be running, and I think we are in good shape. Okay, 4 of these guys here. Probably don't need to have 2 beavers in the clay pit. I'll take that down to 1. So now we only have 2 vacancies. I'm going to allow them to do... Oh, now it's 4, because I guess that's fine. That's how that works. I think we're in good shape, folks. We've conquered the stupid thing that tripped me up 2 episodes in a row without me even knowing it. We've gotten scrap metal. We've gotten some logs going here. And I'm on my way to having enough science to unlock the smelter, so that's going to be a probably a good milestone to get to today once we have that finished. And I'm not really sure, but I think we could maybe get into some other food stuff here now that we do have a press. We can start making some juices. We can start looking into some other recipes as well. The grill, we already have both of those going, so that's fine. But the grist mill is going to allow us to make wheat flour and also cornmeal. And then that can be used in the bakery to make stuff like apple pies. We have stuffed peppers, although that doesn't require the grist mill. That's just peppers, tomatoes, corn, and some charcoal. But we do have to have the science unlocked for that. I'm probably going to go for the metal first, just because that's going to be a lot more useful early game. But while we have the press here, we can actually change modes, and we can start taking some of our excess apples and pressing them into apple juice. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Set that up right there, because we have almost 200 apples. They're going to load those things in there. They'll make 45 apple juice, but these beavers don't have anywhere to put it. So let's change this water into... This one's apple juice? Yeah, there we go. And now they'll have something else to drink. It'll go here in this little juice column. Well, once they're not sleeping, that is. And then we should be good to go. So let me know in the comments, do you like not having the nighttime cycle show up? Because I know some of you are very adamant that you really hate how dark it gets. And I definitely understand that. It's very hard to see sometimes. But some of you may also prefer it the other way around. I'll go with whatever seems the most popular opinion, although I'm inclined to leave it on daytime only, because that's going to look a whole lot better for the video. But I do always appreciate your feedback. And now we have apple juice. Looking pretty good here. Get these children growing up. They do have a campfire to go to. We have our rooftop terrace. Did I build a contemplation spot? I think I did. Yeah, there's one right here. Scratcher would not be a bad choice either. It's only 100 science, but I would like to save my science. Oh, you know what? We can make the frog statue, because it doesn't use treated planks in this mod. All right. All you frog enthusiasts out there, this one is for you. I'm not going to put it there, but I think I want it to have like a decent location. And yeah, 6-day drought. Get that going, but we can definitely get a frog statue popped in here. Oh, that didn't rotate because of autosave. Thank you. There we go. So we'll get that built eventually. These have paused. We have 340. 6-day drought. We are going to have to unpause these before the end. We need to have more water storage. Remember, the beavers consume about 2 water per day each. So that's 60 water per day, and it's a 6-day drought, so we're just shy of that. We will probably not have enough. Oh, no, I do. Or I will by the time this is actually done. I will have enough to put another medium tank here just for water, and that should help us out for the next cycle or two. And yeah, we're looking pretty good here. Cutting down some trees, getting some metal. We're not quite there in the scrap, the science department, excuse me. Now that should be fine, and we are closing in on the 50-minute mark here, so we got a little bit more time. Try to keep these early episodes, you know, not super crazy long, but sometimes they do drift into the hour territory. We got a frog statue, folks. They're admiring this beautiful amphibian here, preserved in stone, or whatever material they chose to build it from. It looks like stone. And we have some apple juice, and I think I should be able to make a tomato juice as well. I don't have very many tomatoes, so I've kind of avoided doing that. The rest of them are going to require some other ingredients. I have radishes. I don't have beets. If I did, then we could make beet and radish juice. And I can make corn juice. Well, look at that, 17 well-being. How about that? In episode 3, not too shabby. Okay, basic needs are all good. Nutrition, we're in the process of improving. Social life is looking pretty strong. We don't have a dance hall yet, though. Aesthetics cost science, so I wasn't really trying to get that going. Everything else, obviously not. Well, I feel like we can be pretty happy, pretty content with what we're doing here. I'm going to start planting beets, just to get a little bit of... Oh, that's right, this tree up here is going to be just forever alone. That's fine. I'll just, start the process of planting some additional stuff. Beets are the last crop besides wheat that I actually have to plant. I think they should be able to reach this. Yeah. We will need to have another farmhouse at some point, but I think for right now this should be okay. We probably want to have some more tomatoes, so I'm going to take these radishes out. Once those get harvested, they won't be replaced. I'll just put some more tomatoes over there. And of course, we're going to organize the farms a little bit better once we get to that point. But I am feeling pretty good about where we are. I just wish we had a little bit more science. So let's, since we're not building anything, let's take this down to 1 beaver here in the district center. That's going to let us start making a little bit of science. And the hauling post, see, hauling is important, but it currently is only doing engine supply. So I'll take this down to 1. That's... Now, see, now as they keep growing up, now they'll get more science going. So that's good. We'll let that be what it's going to be. Despite all of this, there's still not a lot of water in here, and I can't help but think I've missed something else again. Which is absolutely tilting me. I don't know how that's possible. Like, there's still a little bit of water in here, but it's going to evaporate inside of a day. Where in the world is it going? Like, is there some sort of secret thing that I've somehow missed? If we come all the way down to this level, it might be easier to see. Maybe it's just evaporation? I don't know. There's a lot of corners here, but I feel like it really shouldn't be that fast. Because this here we already knew was a thing. I don't think it goes across... No, it doesn't. That's as far as it goes, and it's all just completely separated. Very strange. Very strange. But our well-being's up to 19, which, you know, that's pretty good. I'm just kind of disappointed about how quickly this water is evaporating. Huh. Well, now that we know that's the case, we're almost at 300 science. So I'm going to let them go until we get there. But then I will turn those pumps back on, and I guess we are going to have to figure out some way to keep more water in here, whether that's... well, I said I wasn't going to do terraforming, so I guess I shouldn't rely on that. We're closing in on 300 science now, so let's get these water pumps on. I'm going to unlock the smelter for 300, and it does take 200 HP, which means it's going to have its own engine. Yeah, I just... Why? Why is it like this? Like, I don't remember it ever evaporating that quickly. And it's not like we're draining it anywhere. It's all blocked off. We're not really sucking that much of it up. It's just really annoying because all of these crops die so fast, man. Ugh. So since this is going to basically require its own engine entirely, we can have this in a separate location that might have a little bit of a better setup, I guess. Again, this is all going to get moved around. This is a 2x4 building, and you know, I personally wouldn't want to live next to one of these things, so I guess I shouldn't make these beavers do that either. Let's just check and see here, engine-wise. That's going to have the ability to go right here. If we flip the other one, then it's hard to build next to it. See, I don't want to make stuff look ugly if I can at all help it. If I put this... Oh, you know what? I know this doesn't require power, but this might not be a terrible place to just stick this for right now. because that takes 10 planks. How many planks does this one take? 50. Okay, well, we're not going to have that finished today anyway. If I flip that... No, I probably don't need to flip it, but sticking that there is probably fine. Industrial area needs that kind of railing. That will give me a spot to put, I guess. I don't have the long, tiny piles from the Water Beavers mod, but I can put in a little storage for some metal blocks. And I can put another little storage for some... yeah, I guess this way is probably fine. Some scrap metal here. And then, I don't think there's anything else that has to go in this, right? Ah, charcoal, which we are not currently making. That can get swapped over. I guess we're going to do some charcoal storage. So that can be a pile that goes there. Alright, so I know they're not going to get to this for a little bit, but at the very least, we've gotten it set up. It just, I don't know what in the world is happening with all this water. Like, it should not be all immediately going away in a 7-day drought like that. Like, there's nowhere for it to go. And it should not be evaporating this fast. I did not change any settings either, so I really don't know what to tell you. But at any rate, this is going to be a good spot for us to stop this episode. I appreciate you guys checking this series out. I know it's some bits have been a little bit rough, but that's, I guess, growing pains, adjustments, etc. Beard Boosters make it possible to make this stuff without having to have sponsors and bombard you guys with ads for frozen food or mattresses or earbuds or whatever people are selling online these days. I just want to have a fun time playing the game and enjoying company with each of you, so I'm very grateful that you choose to spend that time with me today. So, we are going to move into Cycle 6, and that is going to be where this episode ends. We'll just have to wait for these crops to get all replanted and everything, but that's all the time I got for this one. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.